All right, my next question is for Mr. Downey. You've always been one of my favorite actors because we kind of share the same kind of past, if you know what I'm saying.
You a war veteran too?
Yeah.
I think you know what I mean. By the way, for these people asleep in the front row, stick around, it gets better.
My question is, has the kind of past that you've had been difficult to get the kind of roles like Iron Man? Because you guys kind of share, your character and, you know, we kind of share the same kind of past also.
I think there's a destiny to just about everything. And the fact that, if I'm not mistaken, Terrence was the first actor that was cast in this movie, and he was a big proponent of me playing this part. And then all the guys you see down this row are pretty much the reason I'm here today. So I'd like to thank them for giving me a great opportunity.
I'd like to add something too, that it's because of the genre of the film and the fact that it's Marvel Studios' first film and it's not a big Hollywood studio, but it's really a big independent movie. And you know, Marvel has shown that these types of movies could be very successful at the box office without having a big name driving it. And I think Chris Nolan also really opened the door a lot with Batman Begins.
Yeah!
All kidding aside, to have a filmmaker, you know, be able to cast a movie as he would one of his independent films and show that if you make a good movie, you're going to, the box office will be there. And so as a filmmaker, I was able to cast the movie as I would for a movie I'd love to see, whether it was a small independent movie or a big Hollywood movie, knowing always that we had the sort of fan base, these people out here who would go see it if we did a good job showing them the Iron Man that they love, and then we get to make the best movie possible. So, and that's why we have the cast that we have up here.
Thank you so much for including Black Sabbath on the soundtrack. Can you reveal to us any other bands that you signed for the soundtrack besides Sabbath?
Well, we haven't really signed, you know, we're sort of at the beginning of the music part of this, but when I think about Iron Man, I think about when I was growing up watching like the animated movie Heavy Metal and how cool that was, and you need you know, I think you guitars and Iron Man is rock and roll when he gets down to business. So we'll see who we end up using. There are a couple, you know, there are a couple ideas that we have, but everything's sort of in the infancy. We still have about 10 months to go.
Okay, this is for all three actors. All three of you guys, when you guys are on the screen, I only see the character, and you guys seem like you've lived that life for forever. And so I never see the actor, and I'm sure you guys give beautiful performances in this, and another jewel in the treasury of film. But how do you guys prepare that much for your roles? Like, what kind of backgrounds, research and development do you do of your own characters?
Gwyneth was my personal assistant for 2 months. That was after we completed principal photography. Sometimes you do the prep after. Doesn't have to make sense. It's just as long as you have it. What do you got, Paltrow?
I mean, it's kind of boring, but I kind of prep my movies in the same way. I read them a lot, and I think about the characters a lot and the kind of path they're on in the universe, and also what I can kind of bring to light through what I'm doing, and so you know, I just kind of sit and listen to music and study my script. Nerd out, basically.
Me? I mean, I'll read the script. I'm pretty lazy as it goes. I'll read the script, but I normally leave it up to the rest of the actors to kind of create my character, because you watch how they respond to you. You know, how they're looking at you on the set. That mood generally pretty much predicts who your character is. That's where it's natural. That's where it's not a fight. And they kind of pick you up and tell you, like on this film, there's a number of scenes that you'll see that Robert set up, and it was based upon how he behaved with me that my character became. You know, I kind of let them create it. And then I let the director talk once in a while.
John will attest to this in a minute, but there's also, we were really, really fortunate to have Gwyneth there on days where, you know, it was a pretty arduous schedule and stuff, and oftentimes we might be hitting the same testosterone note or wanting things just to be entertaining, and John would always say that we'd defer to Gwyneth because her instincts always point pretty true north, and so we're pretty balanced in this. It's really not a, you know, it's, well, she was running the acting department usually at the end of the day. I just felt like I had to say that for a certain demographic.
There's somebody else from the cast who's here that I'd like to bring on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, Karen Allen. No, there's somebody else, a small part in the movie. Why don't you come on out? I think you know this guy.
This is a surprise. I was just going to sneak in the back and watch it on the screen. And somebody said, come up, and I thought they meant I could hear it better up front. And the next thing I know, and this is the greatest thrill. I mean, this movie is going to be great. I'm with the top people in the movie business, and a guy from comic books to be up here, wow!